365. My name is Erica Vassal, and this is episode 11, How to Believe in Yourself When No One Else Does. And I am here with my dear friend, Tex Roy Elliott. He is an entrepreneur, a promoter, and you guys know what I'm going to say, the smartest man that I have ever met. So I'm excited to hear his thoughts on this. So what do you have to say this morning, Tex Roy?
Thanks for such a big compliment. The smartest man I ever know. I don't know, but I thank you. Well, like I always say, need no introduction. Still in beautiful and intelligent Erica Basu. Do what you do.
All right. So both of us have had businesses for a very, very long time. So we're really good at this one because when you have a business or in general in life, there's always going to be people who try to bring you down or say like that goal's stupid or why are you doing that? Right. So we've had to come up with strategies of how we're going to believe in ourselves when nobody else does. So that is our topic. So I'm going to say this, when I was young and starting a business, people would say to me, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And I would always think like, I'm doing this because I know that I can achieve this goal. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I know that I'm going to do this. Okay. So when people were saying like, you're too young, you're too this, you're too that, I had to find it within me to stand strong and say, it doesn't matter what they say. And one of the things that I've done from a very young age is visualization. So I would cut out pictures from a magazine. Back then we didn't have like the internet like we do now. And I would visualize my goal. I would put them on the refrigerator, whatever it was that I wanted to achieve. Like I had a salon when I was 19. I had pictures before I even opened the salon of what I wanted it to look like. I knew I could visualize what I was going to achieve. And a few years ago, when I was earning a car with one of my direct sales companies, I had a picture of that car everywhere. I visualized, I could see myself sitting in that car. I knew that that was what it was going to be. So for me, having visual reminders, sometimes people do like a goal poster, things like that. I think that that is one of the key things is you have to visually see yourself achieving that goal. For me, that works. What about you? What strategies do you use?
You have to believe in yourself and what you're doing. If you don't believe, ain't nobody else won't believe. I strongly doubt it. They say a dollar in a dream. I think believe in yourself or to be successful begins with, I keep saying it, believe. That's number one. Number two, you got to have ambition. The ambition drive that believe in you. So when you're ambitious, it just make you believe in yourself more. Then, of course, love. Well, that's number one, to be honest. So many number ones. But
Yeah,
love,
we got a triple here.
you have to love yourself, of course. I hope we all do, and you love what you do. When you love what you do, it's that much easier to be successful. So when challenges come your way, if you love what you do, it's gonna make it that much harder to give up on anything you do. A lot of us in life, we got goals. Everybody got goals and dreams. I hope. We got
Mhm.
goals and dreams. The difference with achieving your goals and dream, you have to believe enough. Keep saying that word enough because I can't say it enough. And if you're ambitious enough, right, and strong enough, now you have a person say, "Well, I'm gonna build me a car wash. Okay, I'm gonna build me a car wash. You need to have the right resources, plan the proper budget to execute, etc. Right?
Mhm.
Okay. So in the way, you know, you run into some obstacles. Maybe somebody don't like what you're doing. They decide to do whatever to try to affect what you're doing. The difference is sometimes the person with the dream trying to reach their goals and dream, they're not strong enough to not let things stop them. That's why many dreams don't come through. As soon as an obstacle get in the way, they want to give up. So the only person that makes is the ones that don't give up. They understand. You have to understand to know that in anything you do, especially when you're going for big things, it's going to be all tight. of obstacles in the way, all types. You have to be strong enough and wise enough to get through. That's how you make it. That's
Well,
why if you believe in never giving up, you will make it.
it sounds
Mhm.
like you're saying that in my world, I'm thinking that you're saying that your why, the reason why you're going to achieve the goal, whether it's buy a house, buy a car, get out of debt, start a business, whatever. The reason behind it, the why you're doing it has to be really strong, is what you're saying, right? Because you have to love yourself. You have to know why you're doing it. You have to be passionate about it, right? So, is it
Right,
really come back to the why are we doing this?
right. I agree. Exactly.
Yeah. So knowing that, identifying it is the main thing. So if someone wants to buy a house, right? So that they don't have to pay rent, so they can have a place for their family, so they can have something to pass down, that's strong, right? And then if that if the why is strong, then they're not going to let the frustration of not finding the perfect place. They're not going to allow all this stuff to stop them and give up, right?
So many ingredients in making it because it's not as easy, but if you love what you're doing, it's that much easier because don't forget the work part. You have to work hard. You know, anybody started from ground up, we know that we and understand that you have to work hard. You have to work because you always going to have competition in whatever you're doing. You know,
Mhm.
it's going to be obstacles and competition. So you have to work twice as hard as your competitors. You know.
And I'm wondering if your mindset is the same as mine on this one. It never occurred to me not to achieve a goal. If I set a goal, I'm gonna do it. And it never occurred to me that it wouldn't happen either. I didn't. My mindset was I'm gonna get this done. This is what I need to do. These are the steps. These are the breakdowns. This is the timeline. You know how I'm always asking you, what's the timeline? I have a timeline and I have the steps of how I'm going to get it done. It's not a wish. I think that's the difference. To believe in myself, I know I'm going to achieve it. I know I can see it, and then I plan it out and I get to work. But it never occurred to me that it wouldn't happen. What about you? Do you ever think, well, what? I don't think you ever think this. It won't happen. Do you?
Well, that to me that begins with the knowledge you got, like, and some of us is just in us to just the determination. Some of us very determined. I feel as though I'm a very determined person. So maybe you are a determined person. I'm the type like if I start something, I want to finish it. I'm just like whatever else, I want to finish it. I want to feel complete. Then I
Mhm.
move on. Some of
Yeah.
us is determined that way. Also, when you have the knowledge, like it seems you do, it makes you know what you're doing is very possible. So it's easy. You mean? From knowing you, I see that you have a lot of knowledge in knowing how to achieve your goals. And you have the intelligence to know that, okay, well, if I don't know this part, I'm gonna do some research.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so when you have the knowledge to know what you're doing, you're gonna do it. And like I said, the other said some of us is born that way, and we just, we gonna make it work, whatever, and we just find ways. I
Well,
think I see those qualities in you as well. So I don't know if whatever you know was taught to you, or you was just born that way.
I don't know.
That's the difference.
I
Well,
don't know actually.
you teach classes, so how did you learn? I asked you these questions before. Like, how you
Because I just
learn these
know.
things?
Well,
Right?
maybe. Well, as some of this stuff, like I teach on, getting things done and planning out your day. I learned that when I was recovering from my third brain injury. I learned that in speech therapy. And then I
See,
just brought it
you
over to
did.
business world.
So you learned it somewhere. See,
Yeah.
exactly, and you made it apply. So
Yeah.
everything makes up life. Same thing. In the business world, you learn things from being an entrepreneur at heart.
Yeah.
Obviously. So when you're an entrepreneur at heart, anything we love to learn. I know I love to learn
Yeah.
important things. That is like things that can make me a better businessman or even a better human being.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
for most entrepreneur I know, we love to learn. So
But let me say something about that. Okay. So I work with a lot of entrepreneurs or a lot of people, and some people They just want to fill their noggin up with learn and learn and learn and learn and learning, and they forget to apply. And I think the reason they forget to apply it is because they do not believe in themselves. Somebody along the line did something to bring them down and got them thinking, I cannot be successful. Whether there was something, you know, in their childhood, there's maybe a trauma, there's something, or maybe sometimes I'll talk to people and it's one sentence that someone said to them that just stops them from ever taking action. So I would say that, you know, it's important that you have to believe in yourself when no one else does, but maybe it comes down to confidence, right? Like having the confidence in yourself that you can do it. And I know we're talking about strategy and just getting it done, but confidence, I believe, plays a key role in this. You know, you and I are both extremely confident people in business and stuff, you know, but not everybody has confidence, you know, to execute things or to get it done. So what do you think about how do you build up your confidence? I guess I'd ask you that.
Confidence come in the very first word, believe. You have once you believe, you're that much confident. Now, the important ingredients which builds confidence is to have the knowledge. When you have the knowledge of certain things, you're that more confident in articulating whatever it is that you're doing.
Mhm. That's true.
So, knowledge is key. For a lot of us, take some of the necessary steps and put it to the side. When you really want to achieve your goals and dreams, you really have to, whether your phone or a notepad, get that and write down what you're doing. All goals and dream begins with a plan. Write down your plan, and step by step, you check them off. Check them
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one day you'll see it. Erica knows all about that, you know. I think she teaches things like that. But these is facts, you know. It's not that easy to obtain every single detail of your goals and dream in your head. So take my foolish advice right here. Write it down. Write it down. That's knowledge, you know,
Mhm.
and learn as much as you can in regards to the business you're doing.
It might be a personal goal too, though, that they have to believe in themselves. Could be weight loss, it could be financial. It might not just be a business, though, right?
Right, of course, naturally.
Yeah.
And with using exercise as an example, it's the same thing. You get a list. You write down, okay, I'm gonna do 25 push-ups today. 4 sets of 25 push-ups. I'm gonna do 4 sets of squats. I'm gonna do, 4 sets of pull-ups,
Mhm.
25. So you write it down. So you know
Mhm.
what you do each day. You keep track, you check them off. And you set your goal. Probably in about month or two, depending on your body, you're gonna see the results. Feel me? Same thing in the business world, you know.
Mhm.
Exercise is also good for you in the business world as well, because it keep your mental, you know,
Yeah,
and
it's
and
true.
and and health is wealth. So we take exercise for granted. Exercise too. It helps in being a good thinker, you know.
Mhm.
Yes. So believe me on that.
Yeah, that's true because you know I recently started walking on my treadmill and you have all that time like on your hands like you can think you
Right.
can you
Right.
know and also you know fill your mind with things, listen to our podcast while you're exercising or find an audiobook or something, you know, to do. But
Right.
I wanted to say about you know, another thing is you're saying like write it down, check it off. That's you know, those are good things. You know, with you and me in the checklist, I'm like, yay, accomplish this, you know. But also I think that people really do. I know you're probably gonna disagree with me on this one. But I think we talked about this in another episode. You gotta break down that goal into small achievable goals, and you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate the wins because if you're always focused on this big gigantic thing that feels untouchable or unreachable, it'll be so easy. Someone's like, "Boo!" It scares you, right? And then you just quit. So set
Celebrate,
it.
but celebrate how?
Well, you just
How? You talking
you have
financial? Say buy yourself a gift. How? Tell me, celebrate how? Go to a party? You got to explain that part.
Well, there's different ways. Everyone's different. Some people are motivated by like buying themselves something, right? Some people are motivated by giving themselves a treat. Maybe they go to Starbucks and they get a coffee. Some people are motivated by other things. So for me, I can tell you when I work for the weight loss company, um,
Well,
I bought myself a gift. I bought myself a piece of jewelry every time I got a promotion. So I started at $7 an hour and went up to six figures. And every time I got a promotion, I went and bought myself a piece of jewelry. And I could look at that jewelry and it reminded me of what I achieved, you know? So for me,
okay.
that was powerful. Some people, maybe it's something small, like a drink, you know?
Well, that all depends. Every entrepreneur is different, you know. Some people love to feel that reward. They like to reward themselves. And
Do
then you
you?
got other
Do you?
entrepreneurs. Then you got other entrepreneurs. For instance, like me, if I'm trying to work my way up and I'm not there yet, I'm not quick to celebrate because I'm too hungry. I'm still too hungry. You know. For me, celebration is when I made it. Then when I made it, I can celebrate forever. Soon as somebody make a little bit of money, they start celebrating and they taking out their interest in their, me, I believe in stacking it up. I'll celebrate, work hard, play hard. So I work hard now. I don't care if it take me a couple years. I don't believe in celebrating when until it's time, when I could celebrate without having to wake up and say, dang, I got to make this money back to do this. I don't believe in that. So, and I'm a promoter. So if it look like I'm celebrating, I'm just, this is part of my job. So if I go out and I'm spending looking like I'm celebration, I'm promoting as well, because so that's why I have to, it's best you do what you love. So I love going to parties and listening to music, but it's also my job. Feel me?
Right.
Um
But wait a minute.
Versus literally what you're saying, like some people they like to give themselves a gift because they, okay, and it works for some, and some it don't work for, because mentally it could be good. Okay, so I did this. Wow. Okay, so it'll give you that much more push to say I did this. Now it's me do something else bigger.
Mhm.
You know, so that's just the difference,
So you got two different personalities here, guys. So you can
right?
hear two different ways,
Because
but
everybody on planet Earth is different. You know,
exactly. So you can take a little bit of mine, a little bit of Texturized, mash them together, right? And come
right?
up with
Right.
what's going to work,
For
best for
you,
you.
right?
Yeah.
I
But
agree.
listen, because some people who are listening, they might have like the self-esteem issue, or they might have that fear like we talked about before. So you're saying just keep going and let nothing stop you. Put your blinders on and just keep doing. Write it out is what you're saying, and just check it off as you go. And I'm saying write it out, keep going, visualize, and celebrate.
Gotta get fear out your vocabulary in order to make it. Can't use
Mm,
fear. That
mm.
that's not gonna work. If
Okay.
you working with fear, nah. Those don't mix.
How do you get
Fearless
it
when
out of
it
your
comes to
vocabulary? What do you replace it with?
what do you replace it with? You
Yeah.
you replace it with brave.
All right.
You
So
replace it
instead of
with the
I'm
opposite.
afraid.
So be brave in what you do. You
All
have to
right.
be brave in what you do. If you
Yeah.
don't believe in what with me, oh man.
What?
Me, it's do or die. So I believe in what I'm doing that much, whatever the case, I'm it's whatever. You know what I mean? I believe in what I'm doing that much that I'm willing to whatever for it. Nothing negative.
Do you do self talk, and do you say, I'm brave, I'm this? Do you tell yourself this? Or you just think it?
Not not really. I just deal with everyday situation fearless because it makes no sense to be scared. What is it gonna gain?
Mhm.
Panicking? Then you just hey, it is what it is, and I just believe in just taking it on without fear.
I wonder if this is a man woman thing. I wonder. I need to hear from our audience. I need to know. Do women think like this too? Like fearless. I'm just or do they worry more about this stuff? I'm just curious about that because I
Let me
I
tell
too
you,
would tell me.
get if you get worrying out your vocabulary, it's easier to get things done. Fear kills every dream, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why you gain when you gain knowledge on what you want to achieve, it takes the fear away.
That's true.
When you're
That's
when because people fear what they don't understand. It's a fact of life, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
So
That's
when you take the fear out, just get out your vocabulary, you know, and this is what you're doing, this is what you believe in, this is what you stand for. That's what you gotta stand for what you're doing. It makes it
mm,
that much easier. Everything is mind over matter.
oh yeah.
Everything
Yes.
begins mind. You know, so
Well,
you feed yourself with knowledge and you become less fearful in anything you do or whatever it is that you're doing.
so mine is not similar to that. So mine, and before we wrap up, is that I have to tell myself these words. I have to remind myself daily of these things. Like stress will take your beauty away. If you love yourself, why would you hurt yourself? Meaning with the chocolate, because that's my goal, not to have any more candy. I have to repeat these things like all day. Okay,
If it
it
works for
works
you,
for
nothing
me.
wrong with it. Yes,
Yeah,
so that's what you're supposed to do. It's being
yeah.
smart, you know.
We gave a lot of tips today. So, visualization, self talk, belief, get the fear out of your vocabulary, writing stuff down. I'm forgetting something. Oh, exercise, right? Is helpful. Gaining
Hmm.
knowledge. What else? We taught them something else. I can't remember.
But
Self.
knowledge to achieve your goal and dreams, believe, knowledge, work, knowledge.
Celebrate.
Team. Fact. Because no man's an island. Depending
Mhm.
on the size of your goal and dream, it's a fact that you have to use a team. A
Yeah.
lot of us think we could do it all alone, but that's not smart. It's not wise. And eventually, if you thinking that way at the moment, eventually, naturally, you will see that it requires a proper team, a good team, a
Mhm.
loyal team.
Yeah. Mhm.
Teamwork make the dream work.
That's
Remember
right.
that part.
Wherever you're listening to this, please subscribe, share it out with your friends, and let us know your thoughts about our episode in the comments area. If you're like, I don't even know how I found them. All right, it's yourdailyboost365.com, and be on the lookout for our journal and our book to go along with the podcast. Well, we will see you next time for episode 12. Bye.
Pick the sense out of the nonsense, pick all the positives, and make it apply.
There
Until
you go.
next time.
Don't forget to hit the bell, hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when our next podcast drops.